bike that attempted to stop at us.
Huh.
But he had a girl behind it, so I don't know. What was that for?
All right.
So where are you now?
We're at the Warnell House, which is 61st Street and Warnell.
I don't see any Warnell house in here. Can we just go back now?
Luke is calling for you. Well, if you come over here.
I can't walk that far anymore. Did you say 61st?
Yes, 61st and Warnell.
No, don't make a turn there. Don't make a turn there. That's weird.
You just go down Warnell.
We are in Warnell.
Can't you hear Luke calling for you?
No.
Luke, you're disturbing the neighborhood.
Okay, we're just gonna walk to the whatever.
Did he hear me?
No.
Okay, I think they're too far away from here.
This is 61st side.
Oh, that's creepy.
Isn't that creepy?
Did you know there's cats at work? It's Tom.
Okay, we're stopping at this house. We're just gonna sit at the steps of this house.
Which house?
I don't know.
Tell us the address.
Tell us the address.
It's Warnell.
What's the address of the house?
Warnell? I don't know. It's dark. This is bullshit. I need to go pee. Look, I was scared.
We're here. Saya!
Where is you?
And there's a big dog. Big dog.
Do you see any car coming, Saya? Come on, Saya, cross. Are we crossing?
What are you crossing? Oh, there you are.
No.
There you are.
Saya!
Asshole.
Did you hear us? Woo!
Anyway, no ghostesses, just crazy people. Anyway, no ghostesses, just crazy people. For what?
I don't want to walk.
Then call an Uber.
What? Here, take Jimmy.
Jimothy.
Yeah, now Stella's so happy that she gets to
Come here, Jim. There's Jimmy the. He looks pretty happy. For what? Then call an Uber. Again, I'm sharing to National Old Trails Road page because this is basically a pivotal stop on the NOTR. This Jefferson Highway. This Kansas City is on the Jefferson Highway, and You know, this ghost hunt is something you can do. KC Metro Arts Events and News. I guess this should be promoted. It's a shame that Kansas City doesn't make a major deal of this. And people can come out and enjoy the weather and the history of the area. And I don't post to them anymore. They banned me. They say they don't like to hear from what I have to say. So I brushed the dust off of my sandals of them. Again, we're ghost hunting. Actually, we're just taking a little hike on Warnell Road, the battlefield that took place here, the Battle of Westport. October 23rd, 1864. Happens to be October 23rd, 158 years after the battle. And legend has it that if you walk around here on the anniversary of the battle, you'll see ghosts walking. I'm holding 2 dogs, a flashlight, and an iPhone on a gimbal. And somehow, I don't know, probably won't look very great, but doing our best. The missus is mad at me because she doesn't like to hike this far. And Luke is having the time of his life. The little kid, he's very excited. He's running around, checking everything, being very hyper. The weather is beautiful. We haven't seen any ghosts, except for that one across the street, a cardboard ghost. It's a very beautiful walk. The houses are pretty. This is a nice part of Kansas City, the Westport turning into Brookside.
We don't know the way.
It's straight.
Just go. I don't want to do the long way.
We're not doing a long way.
Yes, you are doing the long way.
We are not doing the long way. We're walking straight.
No, I don't want to do the long way.
We're not doing a long way.
Make it enjoyable.
We're not doing a long way. We're walking straight. Dongies. You know, from back here, you almost look like 2 horses pulling a carriage. Oh, their Halloween decorations are deflated. Luke, come back here with the rest of the gang. Seen any ghostesses yet?
No.
I like this, the picket fence and the house. Ooh, that house almost looks like it has 2 eyes and a mouth. Look at that. Woo. Yeah, picket fence. I like that.
I know, when I'm a grown up, I'm gonna buy a house like that.
Really? All right, come on. Come on. team of dogs. Yeah, mew, yeah, yeah. That's my playback of my feed so I can tell if my mic is working. And come on, dongs. Stella, don't do that. Pretty house. Come on, dongs. Stella, don't do that. Loud exhaust. Just admiring the view of the houses here. I didn't have much time to read it. Should have read that one panel in Warnell House on the development of this area. Because, you know, 158 years ago, this was all farm fields and orchards. Now Westport, oh, look at that scary decoration. Passed by that before. Westport by that time was already on the wane. It was no longer a commercial center, it just became a sleepy village. The main city that was taking over was Kansas City itself, or at that time they called it City of Kansas. Why is the City of Kansas on the Missouri River? Well, because the City of Kansas was located conveniently at the confluence of the Kansas River and the Missouri River, so they named it after the Kansas River. Scary! And a skeleton in the doorway. Arr. My cohort in crime, the other one who thinks this is a blast, has been taken over by ants again. Pretty good, how you doing? There's some ghosts. Ooh. There's some ghosts. I need to switch hands. This hand is going numb. Oh, that tree looks like something weird is hanging in it. It's just a low-hanging branch. Oh, nice autumn. Oh, look at the lights in there. That's pretty. Nice autumn day, which is actually feels like summer. I'm sweating here. But, phew, sewer smell. Ugh. Oh, look at the quarter moon windows in that house there. I don't know if you can see that. It's like I don't know if you remember in the 1970s, the movie and book, the Amityville Horror. They had quarter moon windows in that house like that. 70s. Jimmy sounds like a steam engine. Woo, woo, woo. Right, Jimothy? Are you a steam engine? Uh-oh. Transmission is unstable due to a weak network connection. Ruh-roh. There's still light in the sky, but I think a lot of that is the city. We have gone down to the John Warnell House, which is what the street is named after, Warnell Road. And we're now heading back north to the site of the battlefield, where the battlefield ended, which is Loose Park. And then this walk will be done. And my mic, so far so good. Knock on wood. I don't have any. Oh, here. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Real wood, too. Not this fake manufactured stuff. And my camera and gimbal are holding up. My phone and gimbal. It's the first time I've ever tried plugging in. My camera and gimbal are holding up. My phone and gimbal. It's the first time I've ever tried plugging in using the gimbal power. So far it's working pretty good. Trying to track my progress, but my phone has quit. Except for the audio, I still hear the audio. Oh, there we go. It's working. My phone is also being used as a flashlight. There I am tracking myself. Alright, I try and cross this street without myself becoming a ghost. The rest of the fam is back there. Here we are, the scary lights on this fence. Ooh, scary. Scary. I like this season. I like the way all these holidays kind of come together. From here until Mardi Gras. You know, next month we have Thanksgiving, then the month after we have Christmas, and then New Year's, and then the Mardi Gras season begins. And a lot of people don't celebrate Mardi Gras. I don't know why. Because in the really grim, dismal part of the winter months, it's a great way to socialize and have fun and dress up and play. looking at the houses and whatever decorations they have, if any. But just looking at the houses and this time of night with the lights and the leaves and the sights and sounds is nice. If we had a way of doing it, this is Sunday night, of course, and not much open on Sunday nights. If we had a way of doing it, it'd be great to finish this with a cup of hot chocolate or wassail or apple cider. We could make that at home, I guess. Well, like I say, wassail. Oops, that's my playback. Like I say, that we should really be making an excuse to celebrate this. Have an annual walk or run and festival, and people can walk around and learn about history and have fun ghost hunting, and people could dress up in period garb. Reenactors could come out. That's something I'd like to see too. It'd be nice if they had a reenactment of the battle. Keep history alive. Because, kids just get into that stuff. They eat it up. It's fun when it's presented as fun. But, when it's presented as work and school and drudgery and do a report on it. But when kids can go up to a reenactor dressed up in period garb and maybe fire or watch a black powder demonstration, it's great, it's fun. You have craft fairs. Now, they were doing something at the Warnell House as of a couple of years ago, but then it ended with, the beerfluenza. And I don't think they've started it up again, or if they have, we just missed it. Wow, that is one big TV in there. Takes up the whole wall. All right, we're back at Warnell Park. Cross back over here. This is the battlefield. And the battle ended up being a rout for the Confederates. The definition of a rout is a disorganized retreat. Every man for himself, essentially. It means that you were beaten so badly in battle that you couldn't even organize an orderly retreat. And I mean by disorganized, there we go. I mean they were throwing off their equipment, their guns. I think pretty good. How have you been? San Diego Live 8. I'm gonna wait here a little bit for the fam. Oh. The missus is not happy. Yeah, the battle took place here in North. This was the final charge of the battle, was right here in Luce Park. And then the rebel army, the Confederates, retreated south. As I was saying, they were literally routed. And that was the end of the Confederacy in Missouri. The duration of the war. The goal of the Confederacy was to take Missouri out of the Union and try and make it to where Lincoln loses face and loses the election. It was an election year that year, 1864. Matter of fact, presidential election, I believe, I might be wrong, would have taken place in November like it is now. And their goal was to have a major battle won so that Lincoln could not claim that he was winning the war. But instead of a major battle won for the Confederates, it was a major battle lost and the end of the Confederacy in Missouri. Hooray! So this is where the Confederacy ended in Missouri, right here, this exact spot. Matter of fact, I believe the Confederates were, their lines are right here. And the general, what was his name? Sterling Price, who was an old man by then, commanded the battle from here. And that was the end, and the end of his hopes for the taking Missouri out of the Union and defeating Lincoln. It's called the Gettysburg of the West. And supposedly on this day, you'll see ghosts walking up and down this road of Civil War soldiers. All right, come on, dongs. Sorry, Stell. This is Loose Park. The south part of it is 55th and Warnell. And it goes for, I think, about a block or two north of here. And there's an old house that was here at the time of the battle. It was used as a field hospital, where this road gets its name, called the John Warnell House. Now it's the John Warnell Museum. And you can definitely tell it's pre-Civil War house. And when they retreated south from here, they used that as a battlefield hospital. Both sides did, which was kind of common back then. And so that's why they say you can see ghosts streaming down this road. Defeated Confederates, wounded soldiers, Union soldiers chasing them, wounded Union soldiers, and maybe even the litters of the dead. Not a big battle by the scale of Civil War battles, as far as that goes, but it was a decisive one. It's called the Gettysburg of the West. Yep. This park at night still gets not a great place to hang out, mostly on weekends. But you know, we're staying by the road where it's lit up pretty well, and our car is parked pretty close to the road, so we're fine, hopefully, unless we run into an angry Confederate ghost. How dare you talk bad about my... I dare. History dares. Don't expect much sympathy from me. And you can see it's pretty dark and scary. It's a big park, hard to keep an eye on everything. And some nefarious things happen in parks at night, even though the signs say no parking between, I forget what the hours are, 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. And that's the main thing, is this parking lot up here. It's kind of, the people who are hanging out in the parking lot at night are not generally doing good things. You know, it's the city park. You just got to keep your eyes open and be wary. Ooh, this camera's kind of doing a decent job in this light. McGee's charge. McGee was a Confederate with an Irish name. McGee's mounted Arkansans charged north on Warner Lane to capture McLean's Colorado Battery. McGee was killed in a hand-to-hand fight with the captain, who was wounded. left 25 dead and wounded on the field. Union artillery fire destroyed the Simpson home, which stood in the southeast corner of 53rd Terrace on Warnley, which would be right there. Yeah, like I say, it's not a gigantic battle in terms of casualties, but a major battle in terms of the results. You know, if we could fight battles and determine outcomes without a single person getting hurt or killed, that'd be great. You know, like maybe future wars can be decided in a contest, because that's about as relevant as like killing each other. They got a nice water area here, Loose Park. It's very pretty, even at night. There's a lot of people that do come out here at night just to take pictures and admire the view. You know, I would recommend to not come by yourself. Because you never know. You might run into a ghost. Even though I'm using this as an excuse to come out here and do this walk, and I'm not a firm believer in ghosts. I'm not a person who sees much scientific merit in it. There are a lot of people who these days like to tell ghost stories and almost tell them like they're factual, but unless you've seen or heard something that you can't really explain. But even if you do see and hear something you can't really explain, look for the rational, most reasonable explanation. Don't get carried away. That house is beautiful. There are many theories as to what ghosts are, what they can be. Disembodied spirits, people in limbo between heaven and earth, or wherever they're going in earth. You know, a form of purgatory, spirits who don't know they're dead yet and are roaming the earth, or tortured souls who are roaming the earth because the way they died was horrible or the way they lived was horrible. I think one theory that I am kind of fond of, it's a very almost scientific one in its approach, but it's not scientific, it's subjective like everything else. And that is that we put off energy and our surroundings kind of capture that energy, record it. So if a person is walking around in a state of mind, a certain state of mind that matches that energy, they can play back those visions or recordings, energy in the surrounding environs. Now, not a lot of people like that theory because everybody wants to believe in the afterlife, and you know, the French in the Osage. It's a sign erected by the Chantal Society. It has more to do with the history before the Civil War of this area. Stella, what have we said about that? So really, it's just an enjoyable excuse to go for a walk and enjoy this season, this spooky season. Walk around here and maybe talk about history a little and relive it some. I'm surprised we're the only ones. Maybe we can get something going here. maybe an annual walk or run or hike or whatever. You know, Civil War reenactment here. Arts and crafts, music, a festival basically. All right, dongies, our walk is almost done. Are you happy about that? Huh? Are we happy, pups? All right, dongies. That's Jimmy and Stella. Or this is Stella. And this is Jimmy, who is the not shy one. Stella is very shy. We are almost there. Almost done with our walk. Woohoo for another year. I think next time I do this, my walking partners will be, they'll know what they're in for and try and make sure they really want to come. And that is Warnell Road, and this is Loose Park. Matter of fact, we're right across from the pavilion there. And I believe I see my car. Woohoo! So, that'll be the end of this adventure. Hopefully, next year on the 23rd, we'll do it again. I missed last year, and I believe I missed the year before. And, you know, beerfluenza has kind of shut down a lot of things. I hope they reopen and we get back to doing normal stuff. But here we are at our car, walking across the field, and Stella is doing that thing that annoys me so much, crossing around behind. Why do you do that, Stella, huh? Why do you let her do that, Jimothy? All right, get the car started and the air going because it's warm here. We'll take one last look at Loose Park. Actually, we'll take one last look at the sign. So you know I'm not making this up. This really did happen about 158 years ago. Woohoo! And we'll end on this sign, which is what we began on. This is where the Union Artillery was. General Curtis versus General Sterling Price, I believe. But if I'm wrong, feel free to write in the comments. Correct me. Oh, really? Neat. Well, I'm ending here. Thanks for watching our Civil War ghost hunt.